Pixar's rep has diminished because a lot of their movies have been going to Disney Plus since the pandemic happened. But I think that they created a film here that deserves eyes in the big screen. But let's start with the premise. In a city where fire, water, land, air residents live together, a fiery young woman and a go-with-the-flow kind of guy discovers something elemental, how much they have in common. Let's start off with the good. Romantic comedies in the theater is very, very rare to see. They're few and far between, and I love them so much. So Pixar doing an animated one with an elemental twist was really, really exciting and made me very, very happy to see how cute, adorable, and funny it was. Also, how much of a gut punch it was. The movie's adorable because of the connection and the chemistry and the story of the two leads, Ember and Wade. Ember being this fiery flame who has all this pressure in the world because she has immigrant parents that expect so much from her, and she has this misplaced anger where she doesn't know where to put it. And Wade is this kind of go with the flow kind of guy because, he's water, and he has this free-flowing way of looking at life, but he doesn't know where he wants to go. He doesn't know where he wants to put his direction in life. So those two, one knowing what she's going to be destined to do and one kind of searching for it, and the way they line up with each other and have so much in common, even though they're so different, was really, really interesting. The movie has a classic trope of two people opposites attract. But this is taken to the next level with Wade being a water being and Ember being a fire being. Literally the whole time, it's like they cannot touch because either the water will put out the fire will evaporate the water. And I thought that was really interesting. But on top of that was the cultural differences. The fire people, or at least the fire people that they focused on here, came from a far distant land. They have certain cultural things that was different from Wade, who had a more free-flowing, fun family. It's like when, you are a person from a different country coming to America and you meet a white friend and they don't understand certain customs or why you do certain things because their family dynamics is completely different. They play on all those things really, really well. And the movie is gorgeous because the fantastic animation done by Pixar in this film, mixing in different animated styles together seamlessly. It looks so, so good. And that's why you need to go see it on the biggest screen possible because it looks so nice. And once you get into the city part where all the elements are living together and everything is moving and jiving, it's just a sight to behold. And I thought that was absolutely gorgeous. The animation is not only the great part, it has a banging soundtrack with a really, really, really solid voice cast that was very, very lovable. It made me root for Wade and Ember throughout the film. And the movie is a gut punch for me because I related so much to Ember's struggle, being someone that is, personally as a kid of two immigrant parents, and those expectations and the cultural differences, you trying to have a foot in both. Where you live now and where you grew up, plus all the culture stuff that comes with your parents being from somewhere else. And, not knowing what you really want to do, but trying to live up to the dream of one of your parents and having that misplaced anger. And throughout this film, she was struggling with that. And it was animated in a way that we could all see it. She's fire. So she had an explosive personality. And I think that all that she was dealing with, all that struggle and trying to be on her own and figure out her stuff really hit me hard, and they hit on the underlying themes really, really well. The ultimate part here was just the chemistry between Wade and Ember. They were so great together, and I really, really enjoyed them. They were lovable, they were funny, and the best moments when they were having dates or trying to figure each other out or solve the major problem that's in the film because there's a dam that's messed up and the water may be coming in to Ember City where all the fire is at, and that dynamic of them just having those moments to build a relationship and see them slowly fall into each other and play into those classic romantic comedy tropes. Ember going over to Wade's family's apartment and all the water lingo they did. There's a lot of elemental jokes here, and a lot of them land and are really funny. Now let's talk about the bad. So this movie does have a lot of funny jokes, but there's a lot of misses as well. Some of them do not hit at all for me. There's a specific one about pruning that they advertise in the trailers a lot, and when it happened in the film, it missed so bad. My whole theater got real quiet, and it was like a moment where the characters look at each other and start laughing, and I was like, no, It didn't work. This was not funny at all. And that was the biggest one, but there's small jokes here and there that they pop off that just doesn't work really well. And some of them are seem really kiddie. And I think that may be what it is. It just wasn't a mature enough joke for me to laugh, but it wasn't all of the comedy. So it doesn't ding the movie too much, but it is there. And also the movie has so many different storylines going at the same time. They're dealing a little bit with like the theme of racism and the divisiveness of being different elements, and they're dealing with Ember's problem, and then they really touch a little bit on Wade trying to find his place in the world, but don't really dwell on that. And then there's also the dam. So there's a lot of things going on, but none of them feel like they are fleshed out as much as just the relationship between Wade and Ember. And I wish they really just focused on the culture aspect and their relationship and kind of left some of the extra stuff out, especially, and the biggest thing that was missing, the fact that they didn't focus on the other elements. You know, this is called elemental, so you think that they will focus on air and also earth, but they were there for like the dressing and like side characters and jokes and comedy bits, but they weren't actual characters in the film. So that was something that was lacking in the film a bit. And hopefully if this gets a sequel, it doesn't look like it is because of the box office, but if it does, hopefully they get to expand on that in another movie. Let's get into my verdict. So despite its many flaws, I really, really love this movie. It was a gut punch for me. I laughed, I cried, I had generally a good time, and had fun with a really good romantic comedy and a animated one at that. We had really good one with Intergalactic last year, and that was on Netflix, and I would have loved to watch it in the theaters, so I'm glad I got to see this one, and I think that a lot of people will enjoy this. So I gotta say that I'm gonna give Elemental a B. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What would you rate Elemental if you've seen it? And if you have not, are you going to go check it out in theaters or wait for it to stream on Disney Plus? Either way, let me know. Drop all those comments down below, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you can be notified of my reviews, reactions, live discussions, and much, much more. And you can catch more of my content right now.